Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update video. This one's going to be all about the Netflix live action show, which finally has some concrete information. This isn't just rumors, it's actually been sort of confirmed, but it does relate to the rumors that we had previously. So the rumors previously were that this guy's going to be the showrunner and the character ages are going to be changed around a bit. That very controversial rumor that went around that everyone was kind of laughing and joking about, like they can't be serious about this. What the confirmed information has confirmed is that that place was correct with the showrunner. Albert Kim is going to be the showrunner for Netflix live action Avatar. The show is going to start filming August 16th. And they're going to start filming in Vancouver, Canada. That's it basically when it comes to what the news update is here. But that's actually relatively significant because we really haven't heard much about the show since Mike and Brian left. Other than I think Netflix just stating once or twice that they do still plan to go ahead with it, but until now we hadn't really heard any proper information. So this confirms, okay, they're committing to the show. They've set a filming date. It's 5 months or so from now, and that's when they're going to get into it. So I guess that would suggest that we will probably learn news about casting, who's playing who, over the next couple of months. Because I'm going to be shocked if we get to filming is beginning and we don't know any of that stuff, and we have to learn from potentially like leaked on-set pictures. So I'm guessing they'll have sort of promo shots of like characters and stuff like that out before then, and that will likely confirm to us a few pieces of information with regards to the age of the actors. That would give us an insight potentially into the other rumor, which wasn't mentioned in this confirmed information, about the characters' ages changing. The actors probably will tell us if that is indeed the way that they're going. But yeah, for me, I don't really have too much to say because I basically can't comment on Albert Kim because I have not watched any of his shows and I don't know anything about him in terms of how much of an interest in Avatar he has, how much he knows about Avatar, how the shows he has worked on compared to the scope that Avatar has. The only thing I can say is just that, you know, Avatar is a very ambitious show. And now that this thing is going into filming, it's going to be very interesting to see what decisions he makes to make this work. How they do the CG, how CG heavy the show is, what sections of book one they decide to do and focus on, versus what they're going to have to cut, because they're going to have to cut some stuff. There's going to be some stuff that's maybe new, that bridges a few things to make up for cuts. I'd be absolutely shocked if they kept everything from book one in, just because the format of book one makes it kind of difficult to adapt, in that I doubt we're going to get 20 episodes that are like half an hour long. We probably will be getting more like 45 minutes to an hour long episodes, and maybe like 10 of them or something like that. That would be my guess. 10-12 episodes at 40 minutes to an hour each. And while, yeah, you do the timing for that, they probably actually have more screen time for season 1 of live action Avatar than the 22 minute episodes of the animation have. But of course you have to do things differently in live action. Stuff has to be focused on a little bit more, and you can't be so sort of scattershot with how you sort of do everything. And that is, you know, the amount of jumping around book one does. That, you know, the first 3 episodes feel fairly solid and contained, but then we're boom in Kyoshi Island, then we're off to Amashu next, then we're on the prison ship and imprisoned, and then we're off to the sort of quote-unquote spirit world, then we're off to a Fire Nation island, and then we're cutting back over to like Earth Kingdom stuff following that. It is a little all over the place, you know, book one, and how well is that going to work in live action, in that can they just cram 2 episodes of the show together into 1 live action episode and have it work? that's where the adaptation's going to have to go in. They're probably going to have to do some stuff like combining a few things together and making it like not entirely accurate to the animation, but this is your way to maybe feature everything. And so you're going to have to do things like, you know, potentially have, you know, Suki maybe play more of a role in the live action, and she's actually with the group when Imprisoned happens. So instead of like the whole Haru introduction being this completely separate thing to Suki's introduction, maybe Suki and Haru are actually in scenes together and stuff like that. And, you know, that way there's a little bit more flow and connection between things, given that there's, like I said, not going to be as many separate episodes. And so each episode is going to have its own sort of identity. And so can you just cut straight up 8 episodes out of the book to do that? People will be annoyed, but cuts are going to have to be made, and that's the big thing. So we won't know any of that information until much closer to the time as to what they are including and what they're not including. Actors, yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see when they finally get to that, you know, who they have. In that, like, now that the thing's finally coming into production, it's like, okay, I'm still not particularly interested in this show because we have so much else to look forward to as Avatar fans with Avatar Studios projects and so on. The thing that this has maybe going for it is just that it is going to be the first one to properly start production. And it's probably a little bit more likely that we'll see more kind of leaks and news come out of the live action production than we see come out of the movie or series production, just with the way things tend to work. So my guess is that they'll probably try everything they can to get this live action show out before anything Avatar Studios gets out. Because I think that's the only way they're going to have their sort of, you know, chance in the spotlight, is when, if they can get this out before anything Avatar Studios does. Otherwise, they're going to be directly competing against stuff that Avatar fans are much more interested in. And it probably is the best way to do it, to sort of get the best of both worlds, where you've got this big live action project which will be helped by Avatar Studios, and the live action show coming out first might actually help to build up some extra interest in Avatar Studios once it launches its first project. So that probably would be the best way to do it. I think it would be a little bit messy if, like, we get the Avatar Studios movie and then like a few months later the live action show comes out and everyone's kind of like, is this right? And then we go into another Avatar Studios thing. That's probably not the the best thing. So that would be my guess. And obviously, I don't know too much about production and how long this is going to take. But obviously, the dates that we're sort of aiming for are obviously, like, with Avatar Studios stuff, is basically like the 2 years from now. It's March 2023. We expect that we will probably have already had the movie or the first series, based on what they've said, that like the movie is going into production later this year, and that in their press release, I think they said that within the first 2 years of Paramount Plus, which would be March 2023, they expect to have Avatar shows up on Paramount Plus. So that would suggest a project separate than the movie also going up on the platform before the 2 years of Paramount Plus. So that's also what this has to run up against in terms of its production. So we're going to wait 5 months from now to get into filming on the live action show, and then I'm guessing it's like, what, 6 to 9 months probably to do filming on what they need to do. Give themselves a few months for like post-production and stuff like that. And you're pretty much at that point then looking at like 1.5 years to maybe 2 years. So my guess is probably that like late 2022 or very early 2023 is maybe when they'll do the live action. And again, I'm basing that on very little outside of just speculating for the sake of speculating. But it's going to be a bit of a race between the two Avatar productions. Avatar Studios versus the Netflix live action show. Who gets their project out first? I don't think it actually matters from the Avatar Studios side of things, because there's going to be interest in that regardless. now suddenly there's huge competition with the live action show. So like I said, I think they should try and get their stuff out first, and that's the thing they can probably use to their advantage, hopefully. So yeah, I said before, like my priority, of course, is always going to be the Avatar Studios stuff, because I'm going to value the new content much higher than adaptation style content here, especially non-canon adaptation style content, where this is obviously going to be its own separate continuity. With Mike and Brian not on the show anymore, anything that they change you can't really view as being canon or non-canon, that sort of thing. So that takes a lot of the pressure off, and it just means, like, yeah, it is what it is. It's this bonus thing that we have as Avatar fans, that we've got the big announcement that we wanted a studio just for new Avatar animation projects, and we've also got the live action thing, which could be good, but it also could be quite bad, because the previous experience with live action Avatar wasn't that great. So that's pretty much where I stand on that. This was, I think, a significant enough of a first, proper update on the show that I wanted to talk about it here. But just know that a lot of the time I'm not going to have all that much to talk about when it comes to actors, like directors, writers, and stuff like that. There's only so much I can say about the production side of things, because I would definitely say that my focus, my speciality, where I can offer good insight, is more on the story, character, plot side of things, less on the production side of things. It was the same even during Korra, where I talk about, like, new voice actor announced or whatever, but I don't have that much familiarity with that side of things. You guys probably know from the fact that, like, I don't tend to overly analyze, like, interviews with voice actors all that much, because I don't really think those are that interesting, especially post-show. Voice actor interviews are a lot more interesting when you're waiting for something to happen, because they have a little bit of insight that you maybe don't have before, but afterwards they don't tend to be the best at getting, like, information. So yeah, they're my thoughts on the information here, but what are your thoughts in the comments below on the showrunner confirmed for the live action show, Albert Kim, filming in Canada, and it's starting on August 16th. What are your thoughts on the first proper update on production on the live action show? But that has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.